Hello, welcome back to Sunny Skegness. It's part 3 of my James Bond rundown. Getting a bit of a sore throat, so I'm going to try and get through this. Okay, in 8th position. Now I'll run down my full top 24 at the end. In 8th, Goldfinger. Goldfinger. 8th. Usually top 3 material, Goldfinger. So why is it 8th? Well, as I said, once we get to this top 10 Bond, everything has a little paper thin edge gap between it because I enjoy them all. I mean, Goldfinger, you've got Pussy Galore, you've got Sean truly being the James Bond we know and love. We have, obviously, Goldfinger. Every scene's a classic scene in Goldfinger. And wow, why is it 8th? I'm racking my brain to think why it's 8th now. I think it's purely because I enjoy the 7 that are below it more. I think it's aged slightly, if I'm being honest. There's some scenes that are a little jarring, especially the scene when they're playing cards at the start. In Aston Martin, wow, what a scene that is. But I suppose the final battle is a bit daft when they all faint. I like the idea that Goldfinger has a way out of it despite everything. You know what, it's a great James Bond film. There's little things which I could find wrong with this one. That's why it's in 8th. It's just personal preference. But it is a classic Bond, and if you want a Bond to show anyone who wants to get into all 24 of these films, show them this. Because if they don't enjoy this, they're not going to enjoy anything else, basically. So yeah, Goldfinger, despite a slight dislike of the ending, and that card scene is pretty much a bang-on Sean Connery Bond film. So based on that, what can be in my top 7? Because I said Goldfinger is pretty much there. Well, the next film in 7th shares a similar title. And we're going back to Pierce Brosnan. GoldenEye. Why do I love GoldenEye? Well, it's 7th, so I must love it. And I love it for several reasons. And there's one reason it's not higher, which I'll say. I love the villain, Sean Bean, because I love Sean Bean. Pierce Brosnan is on point as Bond here. The tank chase. Oh my goodness. Xenia Onatopp. What a henchwoman. Wow, she's amazing. I like the Russian scientist as the Bond girl. I like Boris. I love the bases. I love the Cold War element, even though the Cold War's over, but they're still bringing that in. I just love the storyline. I love Judi Dench appearing as M, and she establishes herself as a fantastic M. There's so many great action scenes in this. The Nene Valley Railway makes another appearance, and it's fantastic. I love GoldenEye, but there's one reason it's not top 5 material, top 3 material even, and that's, again, there's no car chase in this. They used the BMW Z3, and it appears in one scene driving down a dust track, and that's about it. You'll find my recaps of these films actually shorten as we get closer to the end, because there's not a lot I can say about these and how glorious they are. But GoldenEye, if it had a car chase, I dare say would be top 2. But as it is, with no car chase, it's 7th. So, what is in 6th? Okay, in 6th position, Sir Roger. Again, and for your eyes only. Now, after Moonraker, which I've discussed, and how ridiculous it was in parts, they decided to strip Bond back. And you wouldn't think Roger Moore, being the James Bond he is, would be able to play the stripped back James, but he can. And in this one, he shows he can. This is a very simple plot. They're trying to, I think it's an encoder. That might be Tomorrow Never Dies, but it's similar. Basically, it's some kind of tech which the Russians are trying to get hold of, and the British are trying to get hold of, and basically it's it's a chase. It's at the end of a mountain, and they go up the mountain. It's brilliant. The mountain scene, the battle at the top of the mountain. I love the final war of words, if you like, between Bond and the Russian chap, and the conclusion they bring to that. I love the 2CV chase. I mean, For Your Eyes Only, great. But I believe there is one reason. Oh, and I love the chases in the snow as well. There's a couple of reasons why this isn't higher, and I think this is the James Bond film with that strange figure skater in, and I don't know what the point of that was at all. She was about 16, she was trying it on with James, who at the time was 50. Yeah. So that's the only reason probably it isn't higher, because this is brilliant. This is brilliant Sir Roger, and this is Sir Roger proving he can play a straight-laced James Bond. This is James Bond stripped back, but still with the Sir Roger quips. So in sixth, For Your Eyes Only. Okay, so we're into top five. So you know I'm not going to have a lot to say about these films apart from their ace. So fifth, my favourite Pierce. Tomorrow Never Dies. I've heard people give this film a hard time. The reason they give it a hard time is the villain, who is brilliant. I love the villain in this one. I love the idea that he's basically Rupert Murdoch, isn't he? That's what they were going for. I can't remember his name. Elliot Carver. Yes, of course. It was playing on the media controlling wars. Yes, it heightened it, but it's basically what could happen. But that's not what makes this film great. I enjoy the villain. I enjoy her stamper. But what makes this film fantastic is the action. It is literally non-stop. The BMW remote control car, the BMW bike chase, not BMWs, the final confrontations on the stealth boat, and then at the start, that opening where he has to fly the MiGs away with the bombs on. Wow, that's so cool. I had the game Tomorrow Never Dies, and it was brilliant. I have two things which I can say stop this getting into top four. Terry Hatcher, I like her, but her performance is lacking. Apparently there's a lot of scenes they cut out because she just wasn't, I don't know, she wasn't there in terms of acting ability. And even though I like the BMW remote control car, I wish it was an Aston Martin remote control car. BMW, James shouldn't drive a BMW. So in fifth, it's brilliant, but it's not just into the top four. Tomorrow Never Dies. So in four films left, my top Sean Connery film. You Only Live Twice. What a film. What a film. There are certain parts of this which I don't need to go into, which have aged it slightly, but you just have to take that it was of this time, even though it's a little bit dodgy. Donald Pleasance, one of the best Blow films. The Lair, oh, the little helicopter, I love that helicopter scene. But that volcano lair and the final scene with all the ninjas scaling down the volcano. This is Bond, over the top, Sean on top form. You Only Live Twice is in fourth. There's not a lot else I can say to it. And the only reason it's in fourth is because probably Sean isn't my favourite Bond, and maybe it's aged slightly. Well, it has aged a lot in some parts, but it's still absolutely crucial Bond viewing. Fourth, there's nothing really wrong with these films. It's personal preference now when we get into this territory. From like 10 downwards, it's personal preference. So, in fourth, You Only Live Twice. Third, and this is my top Daniel Craig film. So in third, and look at the beautiful cover on that, is Skyfall. I watched Skyfall quite recently, And I said a number of times, and my wife will attest to this, that this is an incredible film. And it is. Skyfall's the best film. It's the best film. It's not the best Bond film, but it is the best in terms of how it looks, in terms of how it flows, in terms of how it captivates. It's the finest, it's the most well-made film out of all of them. It's just great, and there are those elements that are creeping back in of classic Bond, which I know they tried to do here. He was a bit more funny. He had his cue. He had the Aston Martin. Judi Dench played a pivotal role in this, and I love her as M. I love the villain, Javier Bardem. He's twisted beyond belief. I love the scene in London when he's chasing against the tube train. I love the final part, which is like Home Alone on steroids. You know what? It's a great film, Skyfall, and it's, as I say, the finest film here in terms of filmography and everything else. But it's not the best Bond film for me. But Skyfall, for most, I would think, would be very near the top of their list. So in second place, we have 2 films left. And I'll tell you what they are now. We have a Sir Roger film. We have Live and Let Die, and we have License to Kill. So, which is 2 and which is 1? In second, by a small amount, License to Kill. Wow, this is brutal Bond. I could watch this right now. Looking at the back cover, I want to watch it right now. This is absolutely brutal. It is Bond as dark as you've ever seen him, including the newer films. This is Timothy Dalton playing the Bond where he wanted to play in the Living Daylights. This is epic action scenes. This is lorries doing things on their 2 wheels, avoiding missiles, haunching up like this. Sorry, I'm jabbering, but this is brilliant. I love this film, and I don't know what holds it back. I mean, not a massive fan of the theme tune. It's not the best theme tune in the world. And I guess the cover-up religious area, I wasn't a massive fan of that, but they needed to cover up somehow. The villain, it's so good. A License to Kill. It's second. It's damn good. It's damn near 10 out of 10. There's not a lot I can say about it. It's literally, between these 2, it was so close. But in second, it's License to Kill, and I'm going to watch that probably tomorrow. I want to watch it now. In first then, my top James Bond film, and I'm not going to have too much tension around it because I'm sure, as you're all James Bond fans, you'll already know. Live and Let Die. Live and Let Die. Well, what can you say? From the start to the end, this film used to give me nightmares as a kid because it's so different from the Sean Connery era. It's voodoo elements and Dr. Kanaka and Baron Samedi, and it was quite scary for a kid my age when I was to watch this on VHS all the time. But watching it now, this is Roger Moore takes the helm and he just blasts it. Wow. In the best Bond film, I believe, ever made, Live and Let Die, the boat chase, with, I believe, at the time was the longest boat jump ever, Guinness World Record. Jane Seymour, incredible Bond girl. Sir Roger. I suppose you could criticise the final fight if you really wanted to, but I don't. When he jumps on those crocodiles' heads. I mean, the final fight actually was the chap with the claw, which was really cool on that train. And let's not forget, the theme too. This is a perfect Bond film for me. I know many of you will disagree, and that's the whole point of lists. It's just my opinion. It's just what I think. But what I think is this is the best Bond film ever made. And what I think is that I, personally, am right.